Welcome to the Portsmouth Athenaeum. I'm Katy Sternberger and I am the Athenaeum's archivist. So what qualifies an archivist? There are many different paths toward becoming an archivist, who is generally someone trained to manage records of enduring value. So for me, my interest in becoming an archivist was sparked when I had the opportunity to work with illuminated manuscripts while writing my undergraduate thesis. Besides just studying these manuscripts, I wanted to learn how to preserve them too. When I looked into graduate programs, I discovered that I could actually complete an entire master's degree focused on archives management from Simmons University. After earning my degree and working in a few different libraries, I decided to also become a certified archivist. Certification is important because it not only shows a commitment to oneself in terms of continuing to learn and adapt as the archives field grows, but also a commitment to the archival profession. I've been working here at the Portsmouth Athenaeum since 2018, and I also serve in a professional capacity for regional archival associations and the Society of American Archivists, which is a national organization, and the Academy of Certified Archivists, which is a international organization. So what is your day-to-day routine like as an archivist? As the archivist, I manage a variety of responsibilities for a variety of materials. Here at the Athenaeum, I primarily care for personal papers, family papers, organizational records, institutional archives, ephemera, and architectural drawings. I organize and preserve these materials, create finding aids that describe the nature and context of the materials, and monitor the environment for pests, temperature, relative humidity, and other potential threats. Additionally, I work with donors by evaluating and acquiring new materials for the collection. I also work with other local institutions that we've partnered with to preserve and provide access to their materials. I answer research and reproduction requests, and I develop policies and procedures for the archives. I do a little bit of everything. So in terms of ephemera, those are things that were generally not meant to be kept, like paper kinds of materials such as posters or tickets or even postcards, timetables for railroads and airplanes. So these are things that people kind of put in their drawers or kept with their papers. And so they weren't necessarily meant to be saved, but now looking back, we can actually get some value from these materials. So what are the types of challenges that you face in preserving historical records? Preservation is one of my favorite aspects of archives management. Preservation helps ensure that historical records will be available for research use well into the future. So making sure documents have proper enclosures, sometimes making custom enclosures, practicing preventive care, disaster planning. It can be a challenge, especially in terms of maintaining appropriate environmental controls as our climate continues to change. Also, a comment that I frequently hear is something along the lines of, "Why don't you digitize everything? Can't you make more materials available online?" And so we actually have a rather robust digitization program here at the Athenaeum. But did you know that digital records are often more fragile than analog records? You've experienced this if you've ever visited a website only to find that it's not there anymore. It can be easy to forget about the cost of care for a digital file, but it does require significant time to digitize the materials and then manage those files and the servers on which those files live. A piece of paper, though, can last hundreds of years, especially when it's properly stored in a folder, in a document box like this one, in a climate-controlled archival facility. What is the archiving process like? When a new acquisition arrives, I first make sure it's housed properly. So I will place documents in folders, which then go in document boxes or record storage cartons. Next, I will do any necessary preservation work, such as removing rusty paper clips or enclosing fragile papers or photographs in polyester sleeves, which are made from an archival quality plastic. After that, I will organize and describe the materials, which is an iterative process, so I go back and forth between the two. And I'll also do research to provide historical context on the people and subjects associated with the material. And this all goes into the finding aid, which I enter into our Past Perfect software so that you can then find it in our online catalog. How does the archivist collaborate with other members of the team? We're a relatively small staff here at the Athenaeum, so communicating and sharing responsibilities are important. In addition to the staff, we also have a strong contingent of volunteers. Our research library is open Tuesdays through Saturdays from 1 to 4 p.m., and we offer a variety of resources, including reference books, maps, photographs, manuscript collections, organizational records, and rare books. We approach our work from different perspectives, but we all share the same goal of making historical resources available to researchers like you. So what is your job in terms of interacting with the public? The Athenaeum receives queries in a variety of ways, in person, by phone, by email, and even sometimes still by mail. No matter the method, the first step is to make sure that I understand the researcher's request. Sometimes it's a very direct answer. Sometimes the researcher isn't quite sure what they need, so we discuss and start to narrow the query. Sometimes the researcher is searching for one thing, but their research takes them in a different direction, and they find that they need something else. My role is to orient the researcher to the resources that we have available here at the Athenaeum and help them find what they may or may not be looking for. Archival resources are so important for society. They inform us about the past, change our perspectives, challenge untruths, celebrate humanity, illuminate a path toward the future. This is all available to you, the researcher. Archives, as long as they are handled with consideration, are not meant to be shut away in the dark forever. Archives are meant to be used. The word Athenaeum originates from Athena, the Greek goddess for wisdom. Here at the Portsmouth Athenaeum, we welcome everyone on their quest for knowledge.
Thank you, Katy.